Welcome back. Google's version of a chatbot is Google Gemini, and you can find it at gemini.google.com. Gemini has both a paid and free version, and if we look at the engines and we go to the drop-down menu, you're going to see that there is a Pro with Advanced and then a Flash version. We're going to use the Flash version for our query. We're going to enter our query into the dialog box. We are then going to click Enter, and we're going to see what Gemini is able to produce. Gemini does produce the step-by-step instructions. It also produces the article content. We can then go to the ellipsis. We can then copy the entire segment. We can then head to our word processing document. Now, upon cutting and pasting, you'll notice here that Gemini delivered less than we requested that it deliver. It actually delivered 472 words. That's something that you'll want to keep in mind when you are using the chatbot if you are specifying a specific number of words or a specific amount of content. Gemini has tools that we can use here at the top of the post. It also has tools that we can use at the bottom of the post. We will look at those tools in the next video. Okay, so for that, thanks, and I will see you in the next video. Welcome back. We want to begin to look at the editing or revision tools that we can use without having to use a prompt. If we scroll here to the top, we can go to this element that says Show Drafts. Gemini will give us 3 versions of the same answer to our query. We can also click this Regenerate button, and we can regenerate 3 drafts if we don't like the 3 drafts that we have been given. The default is always going to be draft 1. We can click on top of draft 2 and then see that revision. We can also click on top of draft 3. And once again, we can regenerate all the drafts to get them again. If we scroll to the bottom, we can click on this element that says Modify Response. And we can regenerate the entire response. That's going to give us one single response regeneration. We can choose then to make it shorter. We can choose to make the element longer, or we can choose to make it simpler. And again, we also have these tonal elements we can add. We can make our content more casual. We can make it more professional. So for the sake of example, we're going to choose to make it more professional. Once we have that content, we're going to modify the response again, and we're going to make it longer. So you can use the tools inside of Gemini without having to use a prompt in order to manage the content that you generate. Okay, so for that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, the obvious choice when you have to output content is always going to be to use your Google tools. And you can do that by going to the Share button at the very bottom, and we can click on Share and Export. We can set up a draft in Gmail. So if you are logged into your Google account and your Gmail is open, you can take the content and you can open it up in a Gmail. This assumes that you are using Gemini to help you to write emails. You can also export to your documents. We can click this button to export to our Google Docs. Once the doc is created, we can then open our docs. And we can then see our Google Doc. The doc is then saved to our Google Drive. We can also click the Direct Share button. What we have done when we do that, we have created a public page to share with others. We can click this button that says Create Public Link. And we then have a public page for our document. If we copy this public link, we can place it inside of a browser to see the page. And we are going to paste in the link. And our document is then visible to be shared with individuals that we want to see it. So there are a number of ways for you to be able to output your content using Google Gemini. They primarily center around free tools that you may already have with Google. Okay, so that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. For special mentions, Gemini does have capacity for audio interaction. If we go to the top of the post, you're going to see that we can listen to Google's answer here in this area.
7 strategies for creating effective video tutorials. Video tutorials have become an invaluable tool for education and training. They offer a convenient and engaging way to learn new skills and knowledge. To create effective video tutorials that resonate with your audience, consider the following strategies.
So in addition to being able to hear the query that Google generates, we can also enter our query using a microphone. For example, we can click on Use Microphone. You need to give Google use of your microphone. Combine this article with the text. Now is the time for all good men to come to the aid of their country, and mix the two together. So as you can see, you can both listen audibly to the answers that Google gives you, and you can also provide them audibly inside of your desktop. Okay, so that thanks, and I will see you in another video.